Sportage 3 is available in 3 trim levels: S, SE, SX. The basic S package includes a full-size tire and spare wheel, pretensioning and limiting the front belts, 2 airbags, power steering, 4 power windows, air conditioning, central locking with remote control, immobilizer, ABS, ESC, ESP, tachometer, fog lights, electric heating and drive mirrors, heated wiper area, rear and front windshield wipers themselves, 2.0 petrol engine with 150 horsepower, tires with a diameter of R16 and an audio system with 6 speakers, CD, AUX, and USB. The SE adds Bluetooth, 6 airbags, a touchscreen, diesel and petrol 2.0, a navigator and a flip key. The top SX equipment is complemented by 2 2.0 engines, diesel and gasoline, a start/stop system and R17 wheels. Contradictory. This is how the third generation of the model should be characterized in one word. Its only indisputable advantage was the design. And then there are questions. The final transition to an uncompromisingly parquet existence with a clearance of 172 mm was not easy for a once-frame SUV. Life began with new rules, and at first Sportage did not cope with them very well. In the cars of 2010 to 2011, there were enough minor birth injuries, some of which the company managed to eliminate over time. We were supplied with front and all-wheel drive crossovers with 2-liter gasoline and diesel engines. There was also a 1.7-liter turbo diesel, along with the 6-speed, quite reliable automatic, most often found in the secondary, structurally unsuccessful 5-speed manual gearbox was initially supplied. There was a certain bias there, due to which the box was already destroyed by 40,000 kilometers. However, the 6-speed manual gearbox appeared a little later, and there were no more past sins behind her. We would not recommend a gasoline engine for purchase in the secondary market. With adequate quality of the timing chain and all attachments, due to the crank liners, the engine managed to rattle for repairs immediately after 100,000 kilometers of run. It is difficult to repair it. The range of native spare parts is very small, and there is no non-original at all. It's easier to buy a so-called contract engine. The situation with reliability somehow improved only by restyling in 2014. Diesel is a little different. His resource is definitely higher. Efficiency, dynamics, and elasticity are an order of magnitude higher in comparison with the gasoline engine. The turbines do not fail, as does the timing drive along with attachments. However, if something happens, and opening a diesel engine will entail twice the costs. Repair of injectors and injection pumps is not at all cheap, and equipment replacement is not budget-friendly. Less often there are questions to the 2-mass flywheel, about $400. It is believed that its resource is 100,000 kilometers. For purchase, we would recommend a 136 horsepower diesel version with an automatic, the optimum in terms of reliability, dynamics, and economy. Still, a third Sportage is not an aftermarket option. No wonder they are neglected by thieves. The interior is aging rather quickly. The plastic in the running places peels off, as does the leather trim of the pretty steering wheel. Crickets appear. The seats crumble over time. The leatherette upholstery bursts. And almost everyone already knows the stories with poorly closing doors, the hinges of which have to be adjusted almost every 30,000 kilometers, and the seals have to be corrected even more often. By the way, there are no complaints about the body. We advise you to look for a car painted in metallic, since eco-friendly acrylic usually cracks more readily. Repair gurus are advised to avoid versions with a sunroof, wedge, and heated wiper area. Because of the contrast of temperatures, glass cracks. There are many complaints about suspension. The knock can come from anywhere. In the cold, the anther on the shock absorber rod dubs and plays. The stabilizer struts are typical consumables, and the steering rack taps at low runs. Many complain about the sounds in the rear suspension. The lower silent blocks are clogged with dirt and creak. The problem can be solved by simple cleaning and lubrication of the assembly. True, over time, Kia eliminated this misfortune. And surprisingly, many scold the original components, the replacement of which with the high-quality and non-original leads to the solution of many problems for a long time. There were no characteristic electrical ailments in the car. So, little things, it happens to everyone. By the way, keep in mind that crossovers before 2012 had navigation that could not speak Russian and could not boast of good coverage in Ukraine. Then she spoke like a little. In a word, we cannot recklessly woo you this car. Beautiful, no doubt, but you need to watch and listen to it very carefully when buying. There will always be excuses to drop the price. Suspension. Shock absorbers have been caught leaking more than once, even at low mileage. Behind there were problems with springs that sagged already after 15,000 kilometers. Their owners of the early Sportage massively changed under warranty. Later, the company changed the weak part to a stronger one. Problem solved. Transmission. It is worth fearing leakage of the interaxle coupling. Frequent overcoming of Fords can cause moisture to get inside the coupling and its failure. This can be expected after 80,000 kilometers of run. The remaining elements of the all-wheel drive transmission are quite reliable. Engine. Restyling brought a fairly modernized gasoline engine, although built on the basis of the previous one, but with direct injection. There are no statistics of failures yet. The cars did not have time to roll out the prescribed, but we hope that it will turn out to be more reliable than before. Electrician. You can't look for real structural rust yet. Early. In addition, South Korean steel is one of the best. The edge of the hood is the first to suffer from chips. By the way, with body parts is not easy. The original ones are too expensive, and the non-original mostly comes from China and is of poor quality. Body. Electrically, there is an important nuance. When buying a machine, make sure you have a complete set of its seals, especially on the left wing side. If it is not there, water gets under the hood in the rain and floods the engine control unit. The motor may stall, but will start only when the contacts are completely dry. Yes, by the way, the bulbs in all the headlights often burn out. Humble yourself. The cause does not seem to have been found yet. Pros and cons. Plus moderate cost in the secondary market. The possibility of service from unofficial dealers. External design, equipment. Dynamics and elasticity of the engine of diesel versions. Machine. Extreme unpopularity with car thieves. Cars of the early years of production. Resource, dynamics, fuel consumption, and low maintainability of a gasoline engine. Lots of suspension complaints. Steering rack knock. The need for frequent door hinge adjustments.